Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first Shock Talk episode. I'm Lorenzo, the host of Culture Shock, or the kind of creator of this brand, Adam, but he can't be here, unfortunately. This is our first kind of pre-recorded podcast. We're entering in a new territory with this, so please be patient with us as we kind of do this new thing. And to help me with the first episode, he was so nice to have an opening in his schedule. Please welcome Branden, aka it's this way, Branden, aka Bcivi, to the podcast.
Hello, everyone. I hope we're doing well.
Yeah, I hope we're doing well too. So I want to talk about Bcivi about. He's a big nerd about this. I've learned. He likes Transformers a lot, and I lack in Transformers, so I want to be different with our podcast with the first episode with something I'm not too familiar with.
I have like
Transformers.
Five Transformer toys.
I've seen the Bayverse movies. I've seen Bumblebee. I love Bumblebee. Bumblebee is probably my absolute favorite one.
So, what do you think of the Bayverse movies?
It's been a while. To be completely honest, the only ones I've actually watched all the way through are the ones everyone hates.
Like which, like 4 and 5, or
I love 4. I love 4. I don't think 4 is bad by any means necessary.
It's
you might think it's bad, but listen,
it's not bad. It's just
I don't know his name, the villain who was like running around just picking off both the Decepticons and the Autobots. I was like,
Lockdown is his name.
Oh, Lockdown. Yeah, I just remember he just transformed into a giant barrel sniper, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of sick.
Yeah, then that part, yeah, like that is cool, but like 4 and 5 to me is where they kind of like went away from like Transformers. It became more about humans. Now, growing up, those movies were like 1, 2, and 3. Those were peak because I was like 8 when the first one came out.
So yeah, how old are you? What year were you born?
98, so I'm 20. I'll be 25 in 3 months. Sadly.
You're 2 years. Okay, I was born 2000, so I got in that right area where everything was coming out. I don't really remember the first one. I don't know if I watched it all the way through. I think it just kept losing my attention. And I was like, but like robots.
Yeah.
I do like the second one. I love Revenge of the Fallen. I know a lot of people don't like that one, and I was like, no, that one's cool. Like, what are you talking about? Third one was a little weird.
Yeah, I like the third one. I like the third one more so than the second one. I don't know why, but when I saw the second one, I saw it when they actually used to do like midnight releases where you actually go at midnight.
2 o'clock now, where you can go at 2 o'clock and get a matinee. Yeah.
And I remember like my seats were like the very first row, so like I was looking up, and I was like 9. So when Optimus died, it was like
you were like, no.
I got dumped. It was awful.
Yeah, that whole choice to kill him off kind of in the second one was a little weird.
Have you seen the 1986 movie?
Yeah, I know he kind of dies, and I've seen just like the memes, and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
I would recommend like to anyone who haven't seen that. It's free on YouTube to watch it before Rise of the Beast, because I've heard a lot about they're taking like I wouldn't say inspiration, but like they're trying to give like the old fans like.
Yeah, that's what I saw. It's going to a lot of the 90s kids almost, which is not 90s, I'd say. Yeah. Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. I've seen it numerous times. When I went to, they have a convention for Transformers. It's very small. It was in LA. It's in a hotel, which is very weird because normally when you're at a convention, it's a huge area.
I mean, it's not common for conventions to have big areas. There's one over here called Astronomicon that's mostly horror, and they were in like half lobby in the conference rooms of stuff. But I got in for free, so I'm not a big horror guy.
Me either.
I mean, the only reason I went this year was I wanted to meet Kevin Smith, and he was going to be there. But then he canceled, so I was like, okay, I have no other reason. But I met Jason Mewes, Tom Waltz, who does Last Ronin Turtles. Who else did I meet? That was pretty cool. Oh, Peter Dante was here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was pretty cool. But yeah, continue about the Transformers one.
So when I went to this thing, I was expecting it. Well, the conventions I've been to have been in like big spaces.
Like, you've probably been to SDC, maybe San Diego.
I wish.
You never been? You haven't been?
No, I've been to WonderCon, LA Comic Con, D23. I went last year.
I saw you post you went to D23 last year. That was probably a fun one.
I went to Star Wars Celebration last year. Then I went to one up in Seattle, but they're all in like huge places.
Oh yeah.
So when I went to this one, I was expecting a little big area, but like I didn't mind it because it was all just Transformers. So
Was it their first year doing it, or have they been?
No, they've been doing this for
they've
a
been doing this.
while.
Okay.
They do it all over the country, even in like Canada, I believe. But like walking in, it was just like, oh, this is cool. Like outside on, so I believe it's 3 days, but I only went 2. So on one of the days I pull up and I get out of my car and they have like some of the cars from the movies that people own. Like they had the Ironhide truck and it's huge.
Oh,
they had
whatever.
Yeah, they had like a million bumblebees.
Oh yeah,
they had
just a Camaro.
Yeah, they had a Jazz. And then they had some other cars. And then they had someone who was actually Bumblebee. And I know the guy personally. And it's not no like Party City costume. It's like, like it's Bumblebee.
Yeah.
But like going in, there's like, it's just all Transformer toys. Like some I've never seen. Like normally like Transformer toy you get at Target. But like some of these ones
were like the higher end ones.
Yeah. And like, they were like,
oh, I know what you're talking about. There was a store I went to earlier today. It's probably like 30 minutes away from me now since I moved. They have just a Transformers section.
Yeah.
Like, so part of the store is Transformers, Star Wars, you have Marvel and DC, and then you have your high-end collectibles in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And when I walked through, like, I was really tempted to buy a few Transformers. I was like, damn, do I want to drop like $90? I was like, that's the question.
Yeah, they had a lot of these, like, the high-end Transformers, like, in glass containers. They had, like, like, the most accurate Optimus Prime I've ever seen from Bumblebee, like, with lights and sounds. It was, like, $500. I wanted it, but I'm like, what was that?
Are you ordering that new one that they got coming out where you can say transform and it will transform?
So they had that there.
Oh, they had that.
They had, like, 3 of them there. But they're like $1,000, and there was like a giveaway you could enter to win a gold one. Of course, I didn't win it because if I did win it, you would never stop hearing about it.
We'd see you send videos into the Discord server. Just guys, look what I can do.
Yeah, and then that's also where I met Peter Cullen. They also had like numerous other voice actors there from like the '90s. Like the original RC voice actor was there. They had. I can't remember his name, but he's actually the voice of 2 Transformers in Rise of the Beasts. I'll have to send a link of what his name is. He plays Rhinox and one of the bad guys in the new movie. He also played.
Is it, it's not Peter Dinklage, is it?
No, Peter Dinklage is the voice of Scourge.
Oh yeah, he's the Terracon, not the.
No, he does voice one of the Terracons, I believe. I just can't remember what. I think it's Battle Trap. I could be wrong.
Did you see the I don't know if I can talk about this. It came out, but I don't know how true it is. They're saying after this movie it sets up something extremely fun, but I don't know how it sets it up. It's just someone texted me it. And I looked at it for a solid 10 minutes and I was like, listen.
So I haven't seen it. This idea. But I do have expectations about what's gonna happen about it.
I'm not talking about just regular Transformers.
Oh.
That's the thing. And I really questioned it for like a good minute. It was just, I don't know how true this is, so this could be like a 50-50. Someone put up a comic from 2003 with Snake Eyes and Optimus and said, Paramount is doing it. And I said,
a G.I. Joe. That I've been hearing about that for years because
a live action movie.
I just don't know if that would work.
It wouldn't work, but then again, it is G.I. Joe.
That's true.
So like
that
they
was
are
like a big thing.
Lasers at each other. Well, they're mostly shooting lasers or actual guns.
Yeah.
So it could be because Snake Eyes was a good movie. I just don't think it did well enough to keep that franchise alive.
I forgot that was even a movie.
It's one of those where you just watch and you're like, yeah, it's good. Like it's whatever. I enjoyed it the first watch through, and then a friend wanted to rewatch, and then we never did it. And I was like, oh, okay.
I know that was a huge thing in the 80s with crossovers with G.I. Joe and Transformers. I just don't know if it'd work in live action because that would almost be taking away from the Transformers, like how...
I mean, we're saying it might take away, but then again, it's giant robots in New York running around, shooting at each other. With a giant world eater Unicron coming to literally eat the world.
Yeah. But like my expectation for this movie, I want it to be like 90% about Transformers, 10% humans. Because
I read a few early reviews, and a buddy of mine saw it early. He gets a few press screenings over here. He goes, "Yeah, it's like the '90s cartoon." He goes, "If you love the '90s cartoon and you've seen it," he goes, "Yeah, you're gonna love it."
good.
He said he said it's Transformers. He's like, "This is the
Good.
one." Like he goes, "Imagine Bumblebee, but like you. This is the movie you want."
I'm hoping this leads into obviously they're making a second and third one, and I'm hoping it leads in. I'm hoping the second one is like them against Decepticons again.
Yeah, with the G1 design. Is it G1 designs? Yeah, the designs
Yeah,
everyone
because
loves.
that one scene in Bumblebee, probably watched that a million times. And then I'm
just go
hoping
and watch
like
that scene now.
Yeah,
because I had to explain my friend what G1 meant because he didn't know, and I kind of didn't know. I was like, all right, G1 is like the original like designs. He's like, how do you know? I was like, I know someone talked about it. He's like, all right, well, what's a G1? And I showed him the Bumblebee opening. He goes, Jesus Christ, why isn't this a full movie yet? I was like,
literally.
I don't know, man. I was like, they should have just brought back that director, if we're being honest.
I know there's a movie coming out next year but it's not like live action. It's like
Netflix.
Is it?
I think it's Netflix. It sounded like it was a Netflix movie.
I hope it's not. I hope it comes out in theater. Well, I don't think it could be Netflix. Like, have you seen the voice cast for it?
It's Chris Hemsworth and all.
And it's like Scarlett Johansson and like it's like a very popular voice cast.
It might be movies, but from what I saw, and kind of read about it, I was like, this sounds like a very Netflix Transformers movie.
Yeah, because I would love to see like before the war, like how Megatron becomes Megatron. Yeah. It's almost like Darth Vader, like Anakin becoming Darth Vader. Like
the
I would
prequels.
Like to see, I would love to see that.
Oh yeah, I bet everyone would.
But like,
I do have a little bit of Transformers history now that I remember a little bit. I played the War for Cybertron.
Oh yeah,
Fall of Cybertron.
Those ones are amazing.
I played Devastation. I enjoyed the hell out of Devastation.
I have not played that one. Blue keeps telling me to play it.
Oh, if you can find it, it's all right. If you played Bayonetta, it's how Bayonetta plays, and it's awesome.
I've never played that, but I've seen Blue play, and it looks fun.
Yeah, it's like you can do like counters and parries, and you just start like blowing shit up like around you. You can transform at will and just ride around the map and just have fun.
How much do you know about like the beasts like Optimus Primal and all them?
I know he's a monkey. It's as much as I know.
Yeah, he gets compared to King Kong all the time.
When I first saw it, I go, "Oh my god, it's Mechanicong." Someone started laughing.
There's a lot more characters in the actual show compared to what they're bringing into the movie, but
I figured.
But I think they're just bringing in like that people from the 90s who watched that show, like the originals. There's a few that they're leaving off, like Rat Trap. That would look weird in live action.
Isn't Optimus Primal voiced by Ron Perlman in this one? Yes.
Yes. That's the guy that plays Hellboy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only way I recognize him.
So anyone knows him as Hellboy.
Yeah. I don't know that much about it, but I do know like they're not from the past; they're from the future. But I think in this movie, they're doing the reverse of that.
They're from the past, but being brought up. That's weird.
Yeah, because they're more like in the show. I've watched like the first 5 episodes. In the show, they land on like a distant planet, and that's not Earth because I always thought it was Earth. And I watched it. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's another Transformers show. I think it's called War for Cybertron. Actually, they show up in that, and I believe that they are from the future in that.
Future robots.
Yeah, but
listen, I like time travel and stuff, but that's just some stuff doesn't need time travel.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to go in the direction with it, but I don't know if you've seen like the screenshot of like Scourge's truck and all the emblems he has on it.
I didn't see that.
No, but he has like Autobot, Decepticon, every faction all on there because apparently he kills them, takes their thing, and like almost like Killmonger. from
that's
Black
pretty
Panther. I know that the Terracons work for I almost said Ultron, for Unicron. And I don't know why, but he does have like a lot of powers. He's not just like he's not just going to eat planets. He's almost like I compare him to he's Transformers Galactus.
Oh, so basically. He wants to terraform.
Yeah. And he also gives whoever he makes like his huntsman powers.
Okay, so if you're comparing him right, I think I got the good comparison. He's the world eater or the world engine from Man of Steel that wants to make Earth Cybertron when they wanted to make Earth Krypton.
No, he wants to eat Earth basically. He wants to eat.
Okay, so he just is Galactus then.
Yeah, so like Unicron and Primus were like the first two Transformers. Yeah. So it's basically like Star Wars, the balance of dark and light, and they're the balance of dark and light. So Unicron always wants to eat him, and I believe Primus is Cybertron. So, but he doesn't transform. I think he's like dead because they had a war on him. So it kind of makes sense that he can't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I didn't like how Unicron in the Babe first movies was Earth. If you remember that.
That's right. It was in 5.
Yeah, they took that,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they took that right from Transformers Prime, which at first I was like, oh, they just took that right off of that show I just watched, which is very weird. But I wanted to see him like as a whole because I think it's better.
We'll probably see that in the movie, like him,
as a whole.
Unicron, I'm guessing, because the only way I found out about Unicron was the pop from last year.
Oh yeah, I've seen that huge. Yeah,
because I know Steph I almost got it. It was on sale like for $10, and I was like, I don't know what Unicron is, but he looks pretty cool. I was like, but I'm not a big Transformers fan, and I showed him in the trailer, and I was like, I should have grabbed that pop. Back at it, being an idiot. But I was like, listen, if they can adapt that design to live action, it'd look really good, and I would have faith in directors that can do that.
Yeah, I know some of his other powers is in the War for Cybertron show, the one I was talking about earlier. He makes so in that show they kind of multiverse it. There is a Galvatron that comes from, I don't know if it's a different universe or the future, that comes and like
there's always a multiverse. There's never not a multiverse in any media now. It's starting to piss me off.
He like warns Megatron that like something's coming and like don't do this, don't do that. But he's like Galvatron, he works under Unicron because he basically owns him and he made him that. So like he's his huntsman and he can't do anything about it unless he kills him. But there's also Nemesis Prime in the show who is the same thing, and they have to work together, which is weird. Because Nemesis Prime in The Last Night is so different.
They made Optimus Nemesis.
They just made normally it's 2 different characters, I believe. I could be wrong.
What is it, that purple eyes and the red scar on him? It was like your Nemesis.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't like 5 as much as I thought. but I like Age of Extinction though.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, this is sick. They brought the Dinobots in, and then 5, they're like in it for 5 seconds.
Yeah, and it's like, oh look, they had babies. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm hoping. I do have a lot of expectations for this movie, but I've seen Bumblebee. I love Bumblebee.
Yeah. I just tell a friend to watch Bumblebee because they're like, I don't know, 5 wasn't good. I was like, no, watch Bumblebee. Like the way Travis Knight is the director, does everything.
So,
or Travis McKnight or Travis Knight. I was like, the way he does it, he brings something to Transformers where I wasn't a fan. And I was like, this is cool. Like I would actually want to see a full blown Cybertron movie.
Yes.
And I even asked. I asked Blue. I was like, why didn't they bring this director back who did Bumblebee? He's like, oh, he has another studio and does other stuff. I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you know anything about not the Maximals, but the Predacons?
No.
So the Maximals and Predacons are basically the Maximals are basically Autobots.
Okay.
And the Predacons are basically Decepticons. Like Megatron is T-Rex. Yeah. I wonder if they'll bring that in. I mean, they kind of already did it with.
Didn't they show Megatron in a marketing
the
promo
toy
for this movie? Yeah.
So that toy was, I believe, that was concept art for Bumblebee.
Oh.
But at the time when Bumblebee was coming out, they didn't want to have it as a reboot, and that's still like a topic today. Like, the reason Megatron is not in Bumblebee because they wanted to keep that concept that Megatron was on Earth then. Because remember in the first one, he falls and he's on Earth frozen.
Yeah.
So, but now they're saying it's a reboot, but one of the producers is saying it's not a reboot. I think it's a reboot because, for one, Unicron is not Earth. Yeah. And it would be weird for them to land on Earth now as their first time, but in the last night, they've been there for thousands of years. Yeah. They fought in, like, World War II.
That was extremely weird that Bumblebee was part of World War II, and they just didn't explain it.
And, like, all these, like, famous pictures throughout history just have a Transformer in the background. Like, Ironhide is pulling, like, pirate boats, and, like, Optimus Prime served under, like, the Queen or something like that.
Yeah, it's just really... the way I see it, being, like, not a big expert like, you are with information, I see it as, 1 through 5 is its own separate universe.
Yeah.
This one is not a reboot. It's just a new kind of story.
It's its own,
yeah, it's its own thing.
Have you seen the theory about who Scourge is really?
No.
So there's a huge theory I've been seeing all over TikTok that Scourge is actually the Bayverse Optimus Prime. And I wouldn't say there's that much evidence, but the trucks are very similar. The poses are very similar. There's a certain mark on his head that are very similar, but they do reuse a lot of, like, parts of, like, if you look at Shockwave in the Bayverse movies, and then there's, like, 1 in 4 and 5 that look exactly like him. I don't want that to happen because I want this to be its own thing.
And then they would try to say, "Oh, it's the multiverse. That Prime is traveling the multiverse now. He's evil."
Yeah,
that's extremely stupid. But why? You don't need a multiverse in every single thing. Listen, the multiverse. I only just like the multiverse in DC. The way it's set. The way if you read into the comics, the multiverse is incredible. Marvel, they didn't know how to do it properly in the comics, so that's why Secret Wars was a thing.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, I never wanted to have a multiverse or anything
unless it's one-off solo films that don't bleed into anything.
Yeah.
Like their own kind of set stories. Like how Visions does it. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. But I would love a What If Star Wars show, though.
Oh, yeah, I'd love a What If Star Wars show, too.
I think that'd be better than...
One thing where I lost it with people, we're going to Star Wars for a quick minute, is the time travel. Is the world between worlds.
Yeah, that's a bit... I don't know how they're going to use that. Like, you've seen Rebels, right?
Yeah, so when I saw it, and I thought about it, because I told someone about it the other day, I was like, listen, I like time travel in movies, like, when it's needed. I like multiverse when it's needed. It's like, but time travel, we didn't need it in Star Wars. They're like, oh, but we have people lifting rocks and using laser. I was like, that's different, though. I was like, when you throw time travel into anything, then you can just retcon anything you want and not give a shit.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, the Flash is time travel. It's like, but that's different, though.
Yeah, it is.
If you know where it's going, because they're resetting their movie universe. They don't want to be stuck in that past. They want to just push it out. And I'll be honest, I did like some of the movies. I did like some of the stuff they chose. Did I like the new concept that they showed? No, not really. I didn't like the Snyder concept stuff. I thought it was weird, but I liked it at first, and then I was like, oh, this was kind of stupid. But, being someone who reads about time travel with The Flash, has seen the movie, they do a good job kind of explaining the whole multiverse and time travel properly, to where the MCU is like, you can go back, but then you get all these other timelines, and then it doesn't... When you see The Flash, you'll understand what the whole time travel actually is, and it makes it make sense. Better than Endgame kind of made a whole convoluted mess.
Yeah. I just don't... Go ahead.
Like, The Flash makes it a mess, but then it's like, oh, if you just do something, it fixes itself properly, or it should fix itself properly.
Yeah, I just don't want Transformers to be all multiverse. I just want it to be like its own thing.
Yeah, just
like
make the movies
year by year kind of thing.
I would be happy with if Transformers, if we got maybe like not every other year, give or take like every 3 years, give us a Transformers film.
I think their plan is to do live action one, then an animated one, live action. Then I think there's a gap, and then another live action. I do wonder if they will ever do like another spin-off. Like Optimus Prime spin-off movie would be awesome.
I don't know why. Why didn't they do? I mean, I get why they chose Bumblebee, because Bumblebee is everyone's favorite, easily marketable. I just don't know why. You have Peter Cullen, who's been Optimus for almost ever.
Yeah.
They could have easily called him. I think that was the plan, wasn't it? They wanted to do a Prime one after Bumblebee. If I read correctly, they wanted to. But then they were just like, let's just make it Transformers with the Beast.
I mean, yeah, a Prime movie would make sense, especially
or show us how he became Optimus.
I mean, I could just tell you.
Go for it.
So, did you know that he was a librarian before? No. So before, Megatron became Darth Vader, basically, he was a librarian, and Megatron was like the number one gladiator on Cybertron. So Megatron wanted to become. I'm going off of Transformers Prime. They describe it like spot on.
Prime's not the new show, is it? That's something completely else.
That new show is Earthspark, but Transformers Prime is like Peter Cullen does Optimus in there, and it's so it's one of the best. It's one of the. I think it's only 3 seasons. There's a curse with Transformers shows that they only last 3 seasons.
I mean, that's a lot of shows if you're not getting the audience you want.
Yeah,
I'd say because Transformers it's a cool audience. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it's just you're being picky with the audience. Like with Earthspark, I saw them doing some stuff and people were complaining about it. It's like you're not satisfying the older fans while trying to get new fans, and you're having them collide. Just like how Star Wars, Marvel, DC, you have 2 convoluting audiences. You just need to find the thing that gets them both together.
Yeah, I know Megatron is an Autobot in that show.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I was like,
which is cool because I've always wanted to see what Megatron would be like if he's an Autobot.
But he's a bad guy. Let him be a bad guy.
That's true. So basically, Optimus never was always Optimus Prime. His original name was Orion Pax. So he was a librarian. And I think so. They had a council similar to like the Jedi Council on Cybertron with I don't know if it was the other primes or if it was just like high end people. Trying to think of a name. I can't think of a name, but there's so many like higher class Transformers. And I know
you have your Masters, your Knights, your Padawans, and your I see what you mean.
And I know Megatron wanted to be like the next Prime, and they didn't want that because he was too aggressive and angry. And by that time, him and Optimus or Orion were like best friends, and they saw him as fit, so he became Optimus. Megatron didn't like that, so that's why he started the war, because he was mad because
justifiable.
So I mean, they could do a movie off that, literally.
Yeah, it'd be the easiest movie to do. You have the story right there.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's what the animated movie is going to be about. But with this movie, I hope he's just, badass Optimus Prime like usual. If I get a speech from him, it's a good movie.
Everyone's gonna be standing, getting ready to fight. It's the whole who gave better speeches?
Captain America.
The joke is Optimus Prime had all of us standing in the theater like we were gonna fight Decepticon.
Yeah, literally.
We'll probably get a speech of Prime bringing, the Beast or
both of them.
Together.
So Optimus Primal also has his own catchphrase, like how Optimus says roll out. He says maximize, which
That's
basically
cool.
just means transform.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a fun movie. I'm looking forward to it. I've liked the '90s soundtrack they kind of threw into it with the
Yes.
trailers, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Stop playing hip hop." I was like, "It's the '90s. What do you want out of it? They're gonna play when the music was
And
good."
Mirage is literally a Porsche, so
See,
he's
I love
definitely gonna be playing that kind of
like
music.
this. I don't know if you're a fan of this. I like how it's Pete Davidson. To be honest, I feel like it really fits him.
I've heard it. He's great.
Yeah, I hear he's hilarious.
I like how they're bringing like high end people, like very high
the
celebrities to play.
the one I don't like is who they got for is it RC?
Yeah, I wanted to
Lisa
just be.
Kosh. I mean, she's a YouTuber. I don't know why she's in a big high end movie doing voice work. Makes sense. Pete Davidson is.
Yeah, I wanted her voice to just be like the original RC,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna see how it is. I'm sure she's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Um,
But from what we've heard, and you've probably heard, is Pete Davidson is like the best. He's just hilarious, like he always is.
yeah.
Like I like when in the trailer when he kicks him out and he goes, "Oh yeah, give me fit." He's like, "Wait a minute, I thought we were boys." Like he's getting all upset.
Yeah. Trying to think. There's so much to talk about Transformers. I get lost sometimes.
You good? This is the podcast, man. If I want to edit it, I cut it down. I can make it longer. It's whatever you want to do.
I would love. I heard there's a post-credit scene. I would love just show me like the Decepticons like coming to Earth or something like that.
Now here's the thing: do you think they'll keep Primus and all of them after this movie?
You mean Optimus Primal, the monkey?
Optimus Primal, yeah, the monkey.
I don't know. It's almost like.
How about let me reword it this way: do you think they'll be popular enough to where people want to see more of them?
I hope so. I can understand why they brought him in because a monkey is so popular. Who doesn't like a monkey? I just don't see them killing all of them off.
Yeah.
So my whole thing for this trilogy, if they're still gonna continue to do it, would be like, have you seen that shot in the trailer where it's like the Autobots and Maximals are like lining up to like go fight?
Yeah, that was a good shot.
So I want that, but in the third one with like all the factions going against Unicron, almost like in game, but all of them.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Like I would love to see the Autobots and Decepticons eventually work as one.
Oh yeah.
But then like go their separate ways because they hate each other.
Yeah.
Because we never seen that, except if you wanna say like Megatron helping Optimus kill Sentinel, but like that's
barely even. It's just because he wanted to kill Optimus himself.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because doesn't he even say that when he's helping, them just kind of beat Sentinel? He's like, I just want to kill myself. Like, I don't care if he kills you. I want the satisfaction.
Yeah, basically, like he's my rival, not yours.
Yeah.
There's a few characters I would love them to introduce, like Ultra Magnus. He's never been in any of the live action stuff, and he's such like a high. He's basically like he was trained by Optimus, basically. He looks just. I wouldn't say he looks just like him, but same colors, bit taller. In the 80s movie, he gets the Matrix over. Well, Optimus gives it to him because he's like, "Oh, I trained you, so take it." And another person would be a Hot Rod, but like a good version, not the one in Last Night.
Was Hot Rod the?
He was a Lamborghini, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no.
Was it British accent?
Yeah, with the Lamborghini.
Or French accent?
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
But I would like to see a proper version of him.
What was the one who was the Bugatti in Age of Extinction? The samurai one?
His name is Drift.
Yeah, I want to see Drift back. Drift was cool.
Yeah, so Drift was actually a Decepticon, but he became an Autobot. They don't show that, but it's in his story.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Jazz back.
That'd be weird.
Instead of Megatron just going, I want two of you.
I mean, he is like one of the originals. So it would be, I mean, there's so many like originals, but like it would be cool to see like a lot more. I know there's what 5 or 6 like Wheeljack.
Yeah. Was Ratchet in this? Is it Ratchet, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Ratchet's one of the originals. Like Ironhide's one of the originals.
Is he back in this movie? Because I didn't see him if he was.
No, so the Autobots that are in here are Optimus, Bumblebee, Mirage, RC, and Wheeljack. But there is another one, and it's that giant plane. I think his name is Stratosphere. He's like that giant. I don't know. It's like a military plane that like drops.
Oh, like a cargo plane. Yeah.
Yeah. He's that. I don't know if he's one of the originals. But it would be cool to see more. Like there was a lot of originals in Bumblebee because they were just straight up G1 looking.
Yeah, Travis Knight said, "Hey, I got this. I know the assignment.
Yeah.
Let me cook."
Did you know that part was almost not in the movie?
Really? They should have started it with.
They would have started it with Bumblebee running away from John Cena.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that movie would have been all that. If it was a good movie, but like that scene made that movie 10 times better. In my
when
opinion.
It starts with John Cena, how you first see him, it's pretty funny because they're doing the hunt, like the army, like they're all playing paintball and having fun.
Yeah.
And then look, Bumblebee comes down. Oh look, there's 2 more Decepticons right after that, like chasing him down.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it still would have worked, but
yeah,
that's Cybertron scene. Yeah.
Yeah, it was peak.
Cinema.
Yeah, it would have been very weird if they just cut that. There is also, God, there's so much. I have Transformers right here trying to give me inspiration what to talk about. The bad guys, the Terracons, the 3 of them, I don't know that much about them. I just know that Scourge is a original because in the 80s he was like the huntsman of Galvatron, but in this one it seems like he's more like he's him.
It's also Peter Dinklage. I'm excited because usually Peter Dinklage does some good voice work.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but like he's like terrifying. And I know, have you seen the shot where they're like fighting all these creatures?
Yeah, like the scorpions and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the scorpion one is very interesting to me because Scorponaut is a original. What was the other original? Not the Maximals, but the Predacon. He's one of the original ones, but it looks like there's like numerous. Like he's just like a basic like drone.
Yeah.
So obviously, I don't know if they could do it off that, but there's so much like whose army is that? Who does it come from? I'm hoping the movie starts with Unicron just destroying a planet, because that would be sick. That would give so much like background on the Terracons, on like who they come from and who they.
So
I think. Go ahead.
My question too about this is, here's my big issue. It's nothing with the movie, nothing we've seen. I think it all looks fantastic. My whole issue was they're throwing this movie out with 3 other movies that are already been before it, and there's like 2 more afterwards coming out. Do you think Transformers is going to do good at the box office?
This one specifically?
Because here's what I'm saying. We have Spider-Verse today. Yep.
Then the Flash
is next week.
Yeah.
Then it goes Transformers. Then it goes Indy. Then it goes Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Oof.
That's what my whole issue was. They threw it right in the middle.
Yeah. So I've heard it's not that great on box office so far.
It might change.
It might change. Yeah, I have hope.
Unless Indy is still getting the bad reviews that people are saying about it, Transformers has hope and it has light.
I think this is going to be one of those movies where, like, after a while, people are going to be like, "Oh, that movie was good."
Yeah, it'd definitely be one of those.
I was hoping it could hit $1 billion. I'm still hoping it can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Actually, no. There's been a few Transformers that hit the $1 billion mark. It's just I wish I wanted them to delay it to like late July, early August, because
I would have put out in May. There was really nothing in May besides Guardians.
Yeah. That's because you're competing with Marvel, and then you're competing with DC, and then you're competing with Disney, and then it's just so much competition.
Yeah, when I saw that date, I was like,
Oof.
why does this date sound really familiar? I was like, oh, Transformers is either going to fall or not rise, and it's going to be...
It was originally supposed to come out a year ago, but they delayed
and then they
a
delayed
whole
it,
year.
which was weird. I don't know why. Oh, because Top Gun was still going, and they had faith in Top Gun, I think.
Yeah, I'm hoping if it doesn't make enough money, that I'm hoping they do not cancel the rest.
They won't. I feel like Paramount's becoming more the company where they just want to do more things and see what they can get people to come see now.
Yeah.
Because what I tell people is like Paramount was a weird company for years.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until after maybe Sonic the Hedgehog where it was like, oh, if we actually take the time and put passion into a lot of these projects
with his human teeth.
Yeah, so they delayed it, made him a new model. It did moderate success. It did very good.
Yeah.
And they greenlit Sonic 2. So, like I said, Transformers, it's going to be that property where you're going to have the hits and misses with it constantly.
Yeah.
But I feel like the movies are where it's going to thrive and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, like it has its own ride, has its own meet and greets. Not that many movies or franchises could say that.
Yeah, and Transformers is one lucky enough to actually keep doing that.
Yeah, I just hope they don't let's say it flops. I just hope that they're like, oh, well, this movie does connect to the Bayverse, and they just stop. That's what I hope that doesn't happen.
I don't feel like they'd stop. I feel like they'd take a step back and be like, all right, now we need to officially reboot and figure out where we're going to go new with this.
I just don't want them to I'm trying to think of a franchise that just reboots all the time, but I can't. But I know
X-Men universe. I mean,
okay, yeah, because they're just, what's this? What are we on 3-4 times for the reboot?
Don't let Steph Cosplays hear this. Don't let Steph hear this. I keep making fun of her for it.
I mean, you're not wrong because
she didn't know what Culture Shock was. I can keep rubbing it in. How many times did X-Men need to fix their universe?
Well, you had the early 2000s, and then you had when they were young,
and then Wolverine. X-Men
Wolverine.
Origins Wolverine.
Yeah,
because that was supposed to be a new start.
Oh, it was? I thought it was just...
they were supposed to do... We got X1, X2, X3. Then they were going to do Origins with a new universe movie. So after X-Men Origins Wolverine, we were supposed to get Magneto.
Oh, that'd be such a good movie still.
But then, Matt Vaughn came, who was the director of First Class, and was like, you know what? Instead of making this a solo movie, I'm just going to implement this into a reboot. We'll do First Class. Because all of them were supposed to get... Yeah, all of them were supposed to get solo prequel or origin films. So we got Wolverine. We're gonna get Professor X, Magneto, like 2 other characters.
There's so many
on the list.
There's so many X-Men characters that probably deserve a movie over a lot of characters that are getting movies today. Like a Magneto movie would be peak.
But then we got it in First Class, and I told people I was like, First Class is probably one of my favorite X-Men movies. It's so damn good.
That or Days of Future Past.
I don't like Days of Future Past. I feel like that gets kind of boring.
I just like Magneto's my favorite X-Men.
Oh yeah, well Michael Fassbender does it.
Yeah, I think he was the best part of majority of the X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
And then after Days of Future Past, it just became what am I watching?
Yeah. Like I told people, I was like, listen, I like Ian McKellen, I like what he did with Magneto. But Michael Fassbender came and just was like, holy shit, Magneto's a violent person.
Yeah.
When he's in the bar, interrogating all of them.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite scenes.
And he's like, oh, you have a filling. It's like, that's gold. And he's messing with the dude.
Yeah,
did he kill him with the tooth or something? I can't remember, but I know he did something where he
No, I think he threatened him.
Oh, yeah.
I think he just said, do it or I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, First Class is the all-time. It's listen, I talked about this in your server. I don't like the X-Men. I could care less for the X-Men.
There's so many that I could agree with you there. There's so many like Magneto, a Magneto project would be good. It'd be cool. And it's still Wolverine because I think Wolverine, Deadpool,
Wolverine
and
is
Magneto,
the most profitable.
Yeah, they're making a game of Wolverine, which is cool.
And I know what story they're doing, which is gonna be really cool. Because they put up a comic image of what they wanted to do, and I said, "Oh, you do that, you're knocking on a fun door."
What is it?
I don't know anything. It's his solo series, his first solo series they ever did with Wolverine. It's where he's standing on all the bodies with the sword, and it's smoking off of it. He's looking all berserk. I think it's called Sword Quest. Yeah.
A Wolverine versus Hulk thing would be a little In live action,
We might get Hulk in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if we did.
In the game, I could see it working, but in live action, I just don't see that working.
Yeah, one you got to get Hulk actor. Well, we already got Mark Ruffalo, but you got to get Wolverine, and with
got to get Angry Hulk again.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose faith in the MCU a little bit.
I've kind of taken a step back from it. There's a lot that with the new stuff. There's a lot I love, like Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, Moon Knight's great.
Moon Knight.
I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Guardians 3. I love WandaVision. Ant-Man was okay to me.
Ant-Man was ass. Thought that was horrible.
Like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is like
all-time
any
favorite.
Spider-Man movie is like so peak to me now. Like even the Andrew Garfield movies are still peak to me.
What's funny enough is me and Cody were talking the other day because we're talking about the whole soups thing, and he knows I hate soups. He doesn't like soups. 2 other people don't like soups we were talking to. And I'm like, this man flip-flopped on Homecoming so fast in that interview.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Like, Homecoming is dog shit. I was like, all right, first of all, it's not dog shit.
Shows the tweet of him.
Yeah, it's really not dog shit. There's fun elements in Homecoming. Like I liked how it wasn't an origin movie. I just love how you even already know Spider-Man. Here's Spider. Go have fun with him. Yeah. And I love Homecoming. Is it the best one? Nah. There's still a lot wrong? Yeah, there's some stuff I could take away from it.
Yeah.
But it's a fun one. But I still say my all-time favorite Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man 2. Nothing's going to top that movie.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like, again, as someone who just got out of, as of 6/22 my time, out of Across the Spider-Verse, it still doesn't top that movie.
I'm either going to see it tonight after the game, or I'll go tomorrow. I'll probably just go tonight by myself.
You'll have fun with it.
How long is it? Like 2 hours?
What did I went at 2:00 and I was out at 4:30, and then you texted me. Yeah, it's a rough I think it's 2:24.
Okay.
There's a lot. I'm gonna wait. That's gonna be a whole nother spoiler discussion if you want to join for that. I'm telling people, I want to do a roundtable about Spider-Verse because there's a lot I want to pick at from this movie.
Yeah. So I just don't want Transformers to be like one of those franchises that always reboots or
every other year and there's no fun with it.
Yeah, now
you don't want it to be like the MCU formula where it's every other movie or every other year almost it's getting a movie, but it's not adding anything.
Yeah, it would be hard to do that with Transformers because I don't think they could do a sideswipe movie. I don't think they could do that because there's so many characters that don't deserve a movie with Transformers. But shows, I could definitely see him doing a show for.
Okay, what if Paramount did on Paramount Plus? They did shows. Yeah, what if they did shows? I
could see him doing like a Soundwave show would be peak.
Maybe like
Soundwave.
Give it 3, maybe 2-hour episodes, or maybe 6 45-minute episodes.
Yeah, and there's so much other characters to work with. You could do one of Optimus Primal or specials, like the Marvel specials. I love all those.
Yeah,
there's not one that's bad to me. How many? There's 3 or 2.
There's only 2. It's Werewolf by Night and the Holiday special.
Yeah, and those ones are both. They both.
I remember
my mind.
People told me Werewolf by Night was going to be trash. I was like, oh
no!
Get ready for this special.
I got scared the first on the logo part.
Scared. You turn off your monitor at Five Nights at Freddy's.
I did.
Guys, where's Brandon? I turned my monitor off. I got scared.
No, I can't. I have an origin story where I can't do jump scares. When I was a little kid, I'm also a huge Halo guy. If you ever want to do Halo, I can talk about Halo for probably longer than Transformers.
We'll do Halo. I'm down. Mark it right here. We'll make a Halo episode.
When I was a kid, I was so obsessed with Halo. I wanted to see what Master Chief's face looked like. To this day, we don't know what it looks like.
Yeah,
so I go on
the show.
So this is probably 2007. 2010.
Did you get one of those videos where it jump scared you? Where it's I want to see the face, and
Yep, and it scared me so bad. I was on my sister's laptop. This room, I ran I saw someone just get murdered. I ran to my sister, jumped in her lap, and just started bawling. And it was
scared me.
I was probably 8 or 9, and to this day I cannot do jump scares.
Stream FNAF on stream. We'll be all right there with you.
I could probably do like the first one doesn't look that bad, but like
The
the other
first one's
ones
not
are
bad.
like
The first one's not that bad.
the other ones are beyond scary.
2, not too bad. 3, 4 is yeah. I don't think you would do 4.
I could probably do the first one.
Do the first one because I know people have asked. They're like, Bcivi needs to stream it now that we know he's afraid. I was like, yeah, because we could all watch it and laugh our ass off.
I would have to do it at night for sure.
At night with no lights on, only your face cam light.
I can probably do that.
Yeah.
One other thing I would love to just see with like the Transformer like franchise in general is get more games. I know they have one
coming out.
Apparently it's supposed to come out this year, but they haven't said another thing about it.
I saw some information got leaked out. It's gonna be like a Warframe Destiny type game.
Oh, like,
I was like,
create your own character.
There's gonna be classes.
Say less. If I could create my own Transformer.
Yeah, there's gonna be classes. I think you can create or you can choose like an already like one of the characters and have them be a certain class. But everyone's gonna want to create their own Transformer. So like, why even bother with
that? That would sell because you can create your own Transformer. That's pretty cool.
And they said it's gonna be like open world, kind of with like little hub worlds, like Destiny, Warframe, where you can go run around and explore and have fun.
Do you remember like in the early I'm gonna say early 2000 era, but like the games that would be based off the movies? I missed those. A Transformer game based off this movie would be so good.
So, I always tell people that when people nowadays complain about video games, I was like, remember back in 2000s, like how you said now, we got a video game off of anything and no one complained or bitched.
Yes, and I had I had. Gosh, my first Transformer game was like the 2007 one.
I played that one. That one was fun. My little cousin had it.
I had both versions. I had the PC version, which is totally different than the DS version.
My cousin had the PS3 version.
Yeah, so you probably played the one that was PC like, yeah.
It's a little more open world. Yeah, you can explore.
The DS version was like you had to pay for two separate.
I do know what you're talking about. I had it. I had the I had the Decepticon version. My buddy had the Autobot version.
Yeah, you had to buy them separately, but they were like $30. So it was like total like 60.
Was DS games $30 back then?
I think so. I could be wrong. I don't remember. But the DS one was more fun to me because that's when you could make your own Transformer.
Dude. Yeah, now that you bring that up, every memory now just flooded back with that game. I loved that game. It was me and my friends. We'd sneak, the DS over to school early in the morning before we all went to class. Because you could do where you could all battle each other.
I never done that because I never had friends that played that game. It was just me. But
you ever fly to Michigan, bring a DS, I will hunt one down. We'll all do it.
I still have
this is so fun.
My original I had the original DS, like the first one. I remember
you're talking about not like the light or whatever, like it had like the curve or kind of
the thick one. So I remember I had a Spider-Man 3 sticker on there, and it's still on there. I know exactly where it is. I just don't have any game. My Nintendogs are probably long gone dust.
They just died.
I played the second one, the DS one. I don't remember if
that one wasn't that good. Yeah, no, I think it was the same game, but just 2.
Yeah, but the second one on like Xbox was amazing. Yeah. And the third one, was there a third one? Yeah, there was a third one, but it took place before the movie.
Yeah, it was.
And the fourth one was awful.
I didn't remember there being a fourth one.
So the fourth one is I watched like the whole like cutscenes on YouTube. So the fourth one is apparently it's a sequel to Fall of Cybertron. Because there are some missions where you are on Cybertron and you're playing as those characters.
I think I saw that one today when I was looking for old games because I go to my old where I used to work. It's an old game store, so I was looking for Ultimate Spider-Man, the original Ultimate Spider-Man game on the original Xbox. So it's the comic of the same name.
Is it? I had.
You play as both Venom and Spider-Man.
Oh no, I was thinking of the Nintendo 64 Spider-Man.
No, not that one. This
one
was called.
Peak.
So this one is play this Ultimate Spider-Man. It's the most. So all right, when Activision owned Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, and the Marvel license, we were getting games like every other week or every other month.
Yeah.
For games, and the best games it was Spider-Man 2, the two Transformers War and Fall of Cybertron with Transformers, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There was it like an early 2001?
Yes, I think it was the movie one. That was from the TMNT one.
I know I played a Ninja Turtle game when I was young. I don't know if it's that one.
Yeah, and then there was the Spider-Man license, and they did Ultimate Spider-Man by Bendis's incredible Spider-Man run. If you haven't read it and you're a big Spider-Man fan, go read it. Like, after we get done with this recording, go read it. And then you'll text me and be like, oh my god. I'll be like, yes, it's the perfect run. It's so good.
I honestly have never really read a comic book. There's been a few, maybe. Like, I bought them, but then I just don't end up reading them.
I buy a lot of them for covers.
Yeah.
But a few of the stories I'll read. Like, now a few new stories are okay. But I mostly go after cover. I'm a cover hunter, kind of, or I'm a key issue. And I tell Blue this. I'm like, Blue, go. I'm like, stop opening books. Just get the ones that are high money. Just spend the money, and you're going to be fine. And just resell them later on, because you will make the money back.
Yeah.
So, like, I found the Spider-Man 300, the 316, the McFarlane, where Venom's on top of them, like, grabbing them. McFarlane Batman, where it's like the cape is out and stuff. I've seen a few beautiful Transformer comic covers. Once in a great while.
I have a few Doctor Strange ones. I just never.
Doctor Strange have fun covers. Alex Ross is a good cover designer.
Oh, you know what the issue was? I bought those, and then Doctor Strange 2 came out, and then I never touched them again.
That's fair. Yeah.
I just, as a Doctor Strange cosplayer, I saw the movie. I'm like,
yeah, that's right. You don't really like Multiverse of Madness, do you?
I'm gonna have to talk about this stuff off stream.
Yeah, we'll have to talk a little bit about it. But I like Multiverse of Madness. I don't think it's bad for what we got.
I'll give you a whole rundown of what I don't like about the movie.
After hearing what's her name said, America Chavez, about how Michael Waldron wrote through 33 drafts, I said,
"Whoa."
Yeah, I said, what was in the other 32 then, where they didn't want to do them?
Yeah.
So I give it a little bit of a break, because like we say, I like the first 2 acts. Then Act 3 is kind of just
meh.
Yeah, it's just kind of all right. You're going off the rails and you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you watch the Assembled, he even says that. He's like, yeah, when we got to the 3rd act, I didn't even know what I was doing. He goes, I just kind of made up bullshit. I was like,
well, that's not good.
Yeah, that's why after watching also Quantum Mania and Jeff Loveness talk, I was like, don't talk, dude. I was like, you don't want to use Blade and the Fantastic Four in an Avengers movie. I was like, stop talking.
Wait, they were gonna put the Fantastic Four in the movie?
No, they were gonna do he was gonna write Kang Dynasty.
Oh, that's right.
And he talked about how people were like, oh, so you're gonna bring Blade and Fantastic Four? He goes, no, I don't want to use them. And everyone goes, why wouldn't you want to use them?
We're talking about the Fantastic Four here. They're not just like some side characters you could throw to the side.
That's what he said. He's like, I'm not using them. He goes, I don't want to write. And then he left the project. And I was like, good. You clearly don't know how to write.
Like the original.
Even if the movie, well, the movie takes place after King Dynasty, Fantastic Four. But even if so, I think they wanted to introduce them in King Dynasty, and then go into the 4th, and then into the solo movie.
I just don't know about that. I'd rather,
because they don't want to do an origin for their solo.
That's probably because there's 2 of them, like how Spider-Man. Yeah. There are already 2 origins, and if you don't know the origin by then, it's
yeah. But no, we could save the Doctor Strange talk for another day, or just do a Marvel round discussion.
Yeah, I could talk about that for a long time.
Oh, I know a lot of people who could talk about that for a long time, because everyone's getting pissed at Marvel right now, and it's great.
My focus is more on Transformers because this franchise, like,
it's something you hold dear close to you that you grew up with, and you don't want it to see it fall.
Yeah, as a kid, every time I got like $10, I'd buy a Transformer toy. I remember when Dark of the Moon came out, my entire summer, I saved up $40 to buy Sentinel Prime, and I bought them.
Yeah, do you still have that Sentinel Prime?
I have it somewhere in the bin outside where all my like original like.
Should dust it off and take a picture and send it. Be like, this is the toy I worked up for 40.
I had like the Devastator from Dark of the Moon, like the big one. We threw it out because it was so big. Like, where you put it?
Come on. Stuff like that you gotta keep. The toy market is so crazy now. You know that, right?
Yeah, so I didn't know at the time.
a retro old toy store today, and the guy had a bunch of. He just got them in. It was all old school, like Batman the Animated Series stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up. It was a Bale figure. Now I don't like Bale. You can ask any one of the people in your server. I hate Christian Bale as Batman. I do not like that trilogy. I don't think it's the best. I don't like the Dark Knight. I don't like Dark Knight Rises, but I like Batman Begins.
That trilogy is more of like if Batman was real.
Yeah, but anyway, I walked in there and I was like, "Hey, this is cool." It was the Bat Pod with Bale on it? I was like, "I don't like Bale, but I want to get this."
The
He
pod's
looked it
cool,
up.
yeah.
He looked it up and he's like, "This is a $70 bike." I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "I'm not paying $70 for something Bale related."
Yeah. So also at the TF Con, they had, speaking of toys, they had this Devastator from the second one, not like a G1.
The one that
but
broke multiple computers when they were editing.
Yeah. So they had this one on display. I don't know if it was a resale or just a sell, but apparently it sold for like it was like crisp design. It sold for like 1,500 within the first 30 minutes of the con. It was real. I don't know if it had lights or anything like that, but it was it was really good.
Dude,
and then,
toy collectors are crazy. They'll
yeah,
buy stuff.
I then I was there for 2 full days straight. So I looked at everything. There was an X-Men Transformer. That's what cool. Another thing I miss is collabs with. So actually today they just came out with a Jurassic Park and Transformer collab with.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
The
I saw
Jeep
that before in a Target.
Yeah, no, it's brand new.
Oh, I saw something like that.
No, so there's the Jeep in Jurassic Park, and then there's the main car that they're in. The main car has already been a collab, but the new one is the Jeep.
Oh, you're talking about the Ford Explorer, the actual SUV, not the Jeep. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You're talking about the car they go when the T-Rex attacks.
Yeah, so that's already been.
Okay.
I've seen. Well, actually, I have. When Star Wars was Revenge of the Sith came out, they had a Transformer and Star Wars collab.
That's cool.
Where I had Obi-Wan's Starfighter.
That's cool.
And it was just him with a lightsaber, but he was a Transformer. They had a few of those there, and then they had some Ironhide from the Bayverse movie, but he was his classic colors, G1 colors. So he was red, and I wanted it was $80. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy that for $80.
The one I did want for a while, I always, if I ever see it, I'll think about getting it. Is I want the Back to the Future DeLorean.
Is it a Transformer?
Yes.
That's cool. I wish they do more. They had the X-Men. I already said that, but they had the X-Men
the Blackbird.
Yeah, they had that. Yeah. And it was a Transformer. It's probably just Jetfire because he was a Blackbird literally in the second movie.
Yeah.
But I ended up with. Actually, I bought majority of these there. They weren't that expensive. This one was probably 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it's 25 or 30.
But after I met Peter Cullen, I was a second away from spending $400 on Optimus. But then I was like, okay, let's look around.
Yeah.
Try to find a decent deal. So I ended up finding. I'm gonna grab it real quick.
That's the thing with cons is you walk around when you first get there, and then when you see stuff, you start going back. That's what I do when I go. So I kind of just be like, all right, I don't want to spend money when I first walk in. I want to go check out every single booth just to see. And if I see something that I don't see at another booth, I'll run back to it real quick and get it and keep going.
So I ended up buying this one. His chest does open, and apparently the Matrix is behind, but I can't open it. Cool. I don't know why. And his gun does have a laser pointer, but I haven't put batteries. He does transform. I don't buy them if they don't transform. Some of the ones that were in the glass cases don't transform. I'm like, why sell a Transformer toy if they're not going to transform?
The whole point of buying a Transformers toy is you want it to be a car and an action figure all in one.
Yeah.
What's the whole point?
I think that Optimus was 100, 120, but the one I wanted was triple the price. And I was
but it couldn't transform?
No.
Yeah, that's extremely stupid.
But majority of the time, I don't transform them because transforming a transform like the big ones, those are more complicated than Legos to me.
Yeah, I remember I had a transformer that I couldn't figure out how to transform. It was like
huge. Yeah.
They
had
it was
like
purple, if I remember correctly.
They
think it might have been Megatron, but it was weird.
Yeah, so they did have a Megatron, a G1. It was probably the size of a toddler. It was huge. It was like $700, and then they had a Unicron, same size. But I was like, I'm not spending it was all the expensive stuff. They probably had
Hot Toys almost.
Yeah, they probably had a Bumblebee like the size of this for $90. I'm like, no. I'll just go buy the basic ones because unless I have like a glass case, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's like you just want to display them and make them look nice, and have them around your thing. For a lot of the pops, like I get, people are like, "How much do you spend?" I was like, "Well, it depends. Like, I won't go over 100 for one pop."
Oh, I can't collect pops because I know if I buy one, I will buy 100.
Are you gonna get the Transformer ones though that are coming out?
No, I can't because, like I said, if I buy one, I will buy all of them. I would rather. I would rather.
You're more into the Transformers brand.
That's true, but I'd rather buy like the actual toys.
Yeah, some pops though look better, or some pops do look better than toys sometimes, and it's really a shame. Like the Spider-Man No Way Home ones look a lot better than the 3-pack they released that Hasbro was releasing, and I was like, I'm good with the 6-pack I have that I spent $100 for, and it gave me all that whole set.
I have a few pops. I have one of myself.
That's cool.
I got invited to have you been to the Funko store?
No, my Adam's sister went.
So I got invited to an event in December, and I'd never been there. It was really cool. They have everything. You would probably spend a couple hundred easily. But they were like, yeah, go make your own. I'm like, oh, say less if it's free. And they let you just make your own.
What's the one I've done? I got the Thanos on the throne, and then I did the whole set right here. There's a few I've paid maybe. No, I haven't paid over 100 for just one yet. A lot of them I just try to buy them in set. Like if I'm buying multiple in a set, I'll be like, okay, fine, over 100, that's fair. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Power Ranger crossover they did for pop form, I had to spend 140 because the only ones I were missing was Raph, Mikey, and Leo. Yeah, and then the guy was like 120 for all three. I was like, all right, that's fine. They are con pops. I know I'm just spending the money.
I would rather see a collab, not a collab, but a crossover of Transformers and Ninja Turtles more so than G.I. Joe.
They almost did that, I heard.
Because, Michael Bay directed both the movies, so it would make sense.
Well, they were trying to do it with I forgot why they were trying to do it. One of my other friends, he's a big Turtles guy, and he knows all the crossovers they almost did. There was was it a Ben 10 TMNT crossover was in the works?
What the? I don't know how I would feel about that.
And they had it, and the story was really cool, but then it just never got off the ground to where they wanted to Paramount and Marvel or Paramount and Warner Brothers wanted to actually do it was going to be like a comic series.
Okay, I think the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers would be awesome in Fortnite. But speaking of Fortnite, have you seen that Optimus is coming to Fortnite?
I was gonna get you to that for our final. We've been recording already now for an hour, so this was gonna be the final one. I was gonna say, so you excited for the Fortnite skin to come in the next week?
I'm ready for all the memes that are about to happen.
I'm already seeing them. That's how popular it is now.
I'm hoping it leads to more characters in the like Bumblebee.
So a few of us were talking was Bumblebee maybe.
I don't know if they would do
maybe
a Megatron.
Mirage. They might do Mirage because the movie.
Mirage would be cool.
RC.
Optimus. No, they can't do Optimus Primal because he's a monkey. And
no, they could do it because Beast Boy is in the game.
Oh, that's right.
Beast Boy. So you could have it where. So this is what I said. If they're gonna do it, you have to have the emotes that let me transform into the vehicles. If they don't have that,
transform into a vehicle. That's the thing.
He just goes into a taller kind of.
He's just like a robot, and he's a monkey.
I
So
mean, they could use the Beast Boy monkey model, and then when he transforms, they could use the Thanos taller model.
Yeah, I can see that.
I
And
mean,
they
that's yeah.
most of their weapons are literally pickaxes.
Yeah, which is really funny. They don't really
I'm
use
I'm
guns, but
hoping it's not just like one skin with Transformers, because like just from that one screenshot, it looked more like a jungle area, and majority of this movie looks like it's taking place either in Brooklyn or a jungle area.
Or wherever it was when they were fighting all the squares, like that metal graveyard.
Yeah, that's probably like Unicron or something.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping it's not just like level 100 where you have to get him. I'm hoping it's like something in the middle, because like
I hope he's not that, because I didn't buy the battle pass this season. I'm being completely honest.
I didn't either.
And Kier, he's like, why didn't you buy it? I was like, dude, I'm not a big Attack on Titan fan. Like, I don't need it.
I only really buy it if it's like a Marvel collab, or like Transformer collab,
or a video game collab. I'll do it.
Yeah,
like when they did Doom, it was Doomslayer and Garrett.
Yeah, he was like level 20 and you got him. I'm hoping that's with Optimus.
Yeah, and that's why I told him. I was like, that's different because, I played the Doom games, and I also played a little bit of The Witcher. I was like, so I like both of those characters. He's like, but Attack on Titan, I was like, it's not enough to get me to want to buy a whole $10 season and get to level 100 or the secret skin or whatever he is.
Yeah.
But,
so I'm
hoping they do something cool with this season that's coming out in 2 weeks now, hopefully.
Yeah, they easily could do Bumblebee and Optimus, but outside of that is question marks. I mean, they could try to do Decepticons, but like they don't really, because they're basing Optimus off the movie look.
I wonder if they'll give him the Bay look.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't want to do it.
I want them to keep it as is.
Well, I mean, no, I'm saying for like the alternate skin. Like you have the G1 movie look from Rise of the Beast, and they give him the original 2005 look.
You know what they would probably do? They would probably do like a... what was that game you were just talking about earlier? The Transformer game you told me to play.
Oh, Devastation.
They would probably make it
look shaded one.
They would probably make it look more like that with a G1 look,
like the cartoon cell shade.
Yeah, which would be cool.
Yeah.
I just don't know about a Bayverse in there, unless it's like the first three. Then that's cool.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the first one, the first.
Yeah. Movie. I don't know, because this movie's supposed to be like a reboot, so I don't know if they would do that.
They might just do it just to say, "Hey, old Transformers fans, here's a gift for you."
That's fair. Yeah.
These are the movies you grew up on. Here's a skin for you for the next with Optimus.
That's fair. Or they could just do like all of them, every skin. And there's so many. Actually, there's so many Optimuses.
I wonder what the alternate like the solid straight colors they're gonna do for him, because usually they do. You get the skin and there's like 4 other designs. Like how I think it was for was it Iron Man and Marvel where they did it was like gold, silver, rainbow.
I didn't play that season that much. I probably
who else didn't play that season? They told me
I was not back then. I had like no one to play Fortnite with, so I probably played to like level 20, and then I just stopped.
Was it Cody didn't play that season either? Barely. A few other people in the set didn't play that season. Like I played that season all throughout because it was just Marvel and it was fun.
Yeah. Are you talking about like when you get to level 100? There's those extra skins.
Oh yeah, you get the Iron Man. And then once you get past that, you get like the other designs, like the color designs. And it was really
I mean, they could literally go like a
which
Nemesis.
I'm saying, you don't play Fortnite with us in general anyway, sir.
I don't see. I only play it if the season is like.
Well, we just play just to mess around. We don't even take it serious. We just have fun the whole time. Because it's usually just me and Jay being complete dumbasses and Cody having to carry us. He'll tell you. It's usually him and Geek are off fighting a bunch of people, and then me and Jay are just off doing our own thing. And they're like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're just over here."
Yeah, they could.
Or we're doing the custom games a lot. That's the fun one.
They could probably do like a Nemesis Prime look where he's like mainly black and like I think purple eyes, dark red, and then they could probably do like I don't know if it's Ultra Magnus for him, but like all white but blue. It's probably Ultra Magnus, but it would be cool to see other color. Like, do you remember when they did Darth Vader and there was no other colors?
So
everyone wanted like pink or blue or white.
Funny about that season. I didn't get Darth Vader.
Oh,
I didn't. I was always at work like every day, and I barely had any time to play a game if I ever wanted to. Like, I didn't even get the Gwen Stacy one because I was like, I'm not that big of a Gwen fan to want to actually get her.
Oh no, she was.
Yeah, she was in one of the seasons. She was the level
Oh
100
yeah, I
skin.
remember when they first did the Spider-Man one.
And then they
Very
did
first
Carnage
one.
right after.
Oh, I don't have Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage was the weird one when they threw Carnage in.
I think they did Carnage because Venom 2 was coming out, which makes sense.
Yeah. We are hitting towards that time. Just thanks for being on, Yusuf. It was a fun talk. Love to have you back in the future.
Anytime.
We'll bring you back for Doctor Strange and where you could have fixed that movie.
Oh,
I'd want you to do your homework for that because I'd want to hear your thoughts. And the one other person who I want to get, and she told me come talk to you, but we'll talk about that later at a later date. I want to get Hannah on at some point because I know she's another big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And hear what she has to say about some stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, I popped into whenever I was just chilling at work, and it said she went live, and I was like, all right, let's see what she's talking about. And she's talking about Star Wars and how she liked Last Jedi, and you didn't. I was like, oh, I got an idea. It's a genius idea.
Good thing you did. Was that when did Andrea call you?
Wait, did you hear any of that?
No, I only heard the first part. It's
sorry.
fine. I may edit this. I may not. It's my parents come in my room too.
Just randomly, like
my mother, yes, she will do that.
Just midstream, just walks right in.
She did that during the PlayStation one. It was just she opened the door and I just looked at her, and I think you can see if you rewatch it back. I just turned, I look at her going. I just turned. Yeah, living at home, it's it sucks, but
it sucks, but it has its benefits.
Better than going and dropping how much for an apartment or something.
Jeez, yeah, I don't want to move out by myself.
That's how I feel. Like I guess we moved into this new house. My parents let me kind of just how I wanted to customize everything. Like I basically have the basement as my whole thing.
Yeah,
this is my main streaming area.
I basically have 2 rooms. This is my office.
Oh,
then I have my bedroom.
Yeah, where I'm trying to make it, I'm trying to do like a studio kind of setup. Like,
yeah,
this is like fun with it.
I like that. That's not that's cool. Like all the lightsabers behind you. Yeah, I mean, I could put more, but like, that's not gonna fit.
Yeah. I mean, you could fit. That's
it would.
Bad.
It would be so long.
I do like the play button behind you too.
Oh yeah, that's my prized possession.
So that's worth more than anything.
I mean, it's not. If you post shorts, it's not that hard to get to the 100K on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try and start doing. Like I said, our whole thing when you asked like, "What is culture shock?" I was like, "It's this new thing." The way I see it is, I want to bring creators together who are passionate about certain things and put us all in one discussion every now and then, and just talk about stuff and have like a round table. That's kind of what this is going to be like, the shock talk for people, who are going to listen to this and be like, oh, he's passionate about Transformers. He's a Transformer creator that people are going to want to go
look up. It's so hard to make Transformer content.
I mean, we figured out how to do it with an hour and 18 now we're at.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could like review. I could like buy like 6 toys and then just like review those. But like,
I'm gonna make a joke, but I don't want the person to watch or find out about this.
I already know who you're talking about.
So you've heard the stories.
Are we talking about Steph?
No, not Steph.
Oh, then no, I don't know.
Okay, I'll catch you up on that later then. Okay. Wait, why is Steph? Why would Steph?
Because she dropped like a video like less than a week ago of her unboxing Transformer toys.
I'm not even calling. Listen, I like Steph. There's no beef there with her. I know someone was like, "Why are you guys so mean to Steph?" And we're like, "You don't understand the joke."
I saw that.
We're like, "You don't understand. Like, we mess with her, and she messes with everyone back." And that's when I came up with the text like, "You're new here, aren't you?"
Yeah. Have you tried the Spider-Verse burger?
Oh my god, it's all right.
It honestly,
it's a regular Whopper.
It looks so disgusting.
It's regular Whopper, but just with like the red food coloring.
When I saw it on Steph's like story, I'm like, that looks disgusting. I don't like Burger King where their stuff is not good.
I like them better than McDonald's. I'll give it that.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't really.
But Wendy's is my all-time favorite.
I don't know have you had In-N-Out?
No, I'm not from what. I'm in the East Coast,
See,
man. Michigan don't have it up here.
If you try In-N-Out, your opinion will change.
That's what I was told. My parents went to Vegas and they got to try it, and they're like, best burger. I was like, oh, thanks for rubbing it in my face. Like, it's like I want to try it or anything.
Fries are good too. The shakes are very hard to drink.
Oh,
but
you have a Five Guys over there, don't you?
Yeah, but it's too expensive.
More than In-N-Out? Really?
Oh yeah, it's like for a burger, it's like $15. It's good, but like I'm not. I could get 2 burgers at In-N-Out.
Damn, I didn't know In-N-Out was kind of cheap like that. I thought it was the same, almost. But
yeah,
I know you also have probably Chick-fil-A out there. I'll go to Chick-fil-A every now and then too.
Oh yeah, I can almost live there. There's only one in my town, so it's like packed all the time.
That's how it is over here. They threw one up like 5, maybe like 10 minutes away from me. Always busy.
And the line's huge. It's like I'm good.
I go any other state if I'm going on vacation. Never busy.
Yeah, there's a million In-N-Outs, a million Chick-fil-A's in LA.
Yeah.
They're busy, but they're not like crammed.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for hopping on this first Shock Talk, man. Hope you had a fun time.
I did.
We want to work more with you too in the future. If you ever want to do some more collabs and have fun. This was a fun discussion. You definitely educated me on Transformers. Hopefully the audience listening, if they want to put this on while they're at the gym, working out, doing work, car ride, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make podcasts where the audience always feels welcome, and it's always like we're talking to them, having a blast with them.
That's good. There's not that many podcasts like that today.
Like I said, like when you asked, like, what's your podcast? I was like, well, I'm not doing live anymore because I don't like the live format. The live format was working, and then just didn't work for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just how do I change it? How do I be different?
Yeah.
But Culture Shock, I'm trying to build it to where it can be different and where I can pull people who are like, hey, I want to talk about this on your show. Okay, cool. Tell me what you want to talk about. We'll talk about it. Yeah. And Transformers was the big one where I was like, I want to do Transformers because a lot of people don't know about it. Who do I know or know of people who
don't know?
And when I heard, Blue and Cody both say, oh, Brandon knows about Transformers, I was like, all right, let me text him. Let me see what he knows.
Yeah, it's such a topic that not that many people know.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that you know about it, so that way you can get people hyped for Rise of the Beast coming out. Is it June
9th?
June 9th. So next week.
Yeah,
not
a week from tomorrow.
Yeah,
well, technically a week from today because
I'm going to publish this episode. It will be up probably Wednesday, give or take. But, just so we can do the ending and have a nice intro. I've been Lorenzo, guys. This has been Branden Civiello.
Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah, we'll talk to y'all on the next one. Hopefully the next talk is for playing Spider-Verse. That's going to be the next one.
I'm going to see that tomorrow.